Welcome to the best gambling show on the internet. This is the home of the money pick. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe. Let's go. We're going live. And I'm going to get Johnny on after this. I'm going to answer the Patreon questions. I have to leave a little bit earlier tonight, but we have a lot to talk about. I just want to talk about, firstly, I did the video. I'm changing my pick in the Bears Cowboys game. I like the Cowboys. I'm sure we'll talk about that as the show goes on. First order of business, though, in my concern level, I'm concerned about the Steelers injury report. I was already concerned about the secondary and Mike Tomlin relying on the man-to-man, but I am very concerned about Porter's going to miss the game. Ramsey's banged up now, and he didn't play well at all against the Seahawks. And so you're like left with Darius Slay, who has just been absolutely horrific the first 2 weeks. And Mike Tomlin's been horrific as well. So that's what we're looking at for the Steelers. I'm very cautious about that. Better beware, because I don't know what Steelers team we're going to see out there on defense. The final injury report is out. You guys can hit me with that and let me know if I'm missing anything. What's up, Marcus? What's up, PJ? I'm excited, man. What's up, man? It's good. Friday. TGIF. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to get to these Patreon questions. Ready to come on here and talk some ball with you guys. Always a great thing. I mean, always great, man. And like, this is the reason why I always post the Bets Friday on Patreon, man, because I haven't seen an injury report like this since like week 10, week 13. I'm not even talking about the quarterbacks. I'm just talking about the pure, just human shrapnel that's just laying around the injury reports. And we're only at week 3. So the Tuesday video, like that's going to get butchered up like that. I've already accepted I'm going to look pretty bad in that. But also, like, this injury report is crazy this week. So I changed the official pick, Cowboys to beat the Bears. Feel pretty confident about it. Lino Frosto, yo, Lawson, what's good? How's the family? We're doing great. I think we go with them boys this week against my Bears. I agree. Shout out to Dicko, Lauren, Busy Gal, Taurus the Hound, and all my DJs out there. Let's get this money. It's good to be back, man. It's good. It's good to be back in the swing of things and have this just slate. And thank God football's awesome. Even that Dolphins game was great last night. Very shocked by it. But yeah, great to have the slate in front of me, and I'm excited what we're going to do. Jonathan Yim, thanks for always doing the show. No, thank you for getting on Patreon. I had been following for a while. Oh, I know. I have a photographic memory, man. Like, you guys would be surprised. If you had to choose a survivor pick between Tampa and Atlanta, which one would you take? Atlanta. Because I'm Tampa Bay's whole offense. Actually, give me Tampa, because I think the Panthers could be dangerous if they get in a better game flow. When I say the Panthers could be dangerous when they get in a better game flow, I say like knock down 10-0, 14-3 to start games like they were against the Jags, like they were against the Cardinals. So that's what I would go with, Jonathan. I was thinking about that today, and I definitely have to go with Tampa still. I think they'll find a way to eke out of the game. And I mentioned Mike Tomlin's poor game plans. I also have my criticisms of Aaron Glenn's game plans on the defensive side of the football. Pringle, I back you on Dallas. I do, man. I do. Gavin, yo, dude, Giants cover against the Chiefs or tease it up to plus 8.5 just to be sure. Well, I do think the Giants cover. Teasing it up to 8.5 for me doesn't provide enough value. But I do think the Giants cover. I think the Chiefs win the game. I do think the Chiefs are going to sweat. I do think this Chiefs offensive line is extremely vulnerable against the Giants defensive line, but the Giants defense still has a lot of holes, man, specifically at corner. And they were just atrocious last week against the Cowboys. And to be honest, with all the pressure they put on Jaden Daniels as well as Dak, they were pretty mid against the Commanders. Brian DePaul, happy Friday, Lost Nation. I hope you're doing great, Brian. Can you break down on what you have seen from Jacksonville so far this year? Colts or Jags to win the division? If you gave me those two, I would have to go Colts, but I still think Houston would win the division. But obviously, we have to look this week. Luckily, I didn't do any future bet on the AFC South, luckily. But I actually love a lot of things I've seen from the Jags. For instance, they're extremely efficient on offense. And, it's not saying much, but they could have put up 50 against the Bengals, but they got sloppy. They turned the ball over. But I do think there are limits with this Jags team because I worry about their consistency on defense. Like 1 week, Hines Allen and Trayvon Walker will look not elite, but very, very good. Very, very good defensive ends. And then the next week, they just completely fade. So I'm waiting to see on the Jags because we're going to get a lot of turnover-worthy plays from Trevor Lawrence. He threw 2 picks last week against the Bengals. I believe he threw a pick against the Panthers. And in that Panthers game, he could have threw 3 or 4. And they were in just cruise mode against the Panthers. So that's the only thing that worries me. I think the Colts are just going to grind teams down. And I really like Shane Steichen's play calling. He's putting Daniel Jones in easy reads, in easy situations. So between the Colts and the Jags, I would go the Colts. I don't want to overreact on the Colts just yet because this defense has its issues, specifically in the secondary. And when we work, we have to see them work on the road. They had 2 games at home, which they took care of business, although against Denver in dubious terms. But Denver's still a big scalp to get. So let's give them credit either way. And Steichen really fumbled that late game situation too. He got, as good as he's been these first 2 weeks, he got saved a little bit by that. Dave FX, thanks, John. Appreciate the head start this morning. Let's get this money. I was crunching a lot of film before the Dolphins-Bills game, and I had to get on Patreon and solidify some bets and change some opinions from the Tuesday video. I'm glad you liked it, Dave. Cowles, Lawson, what's up? This seems like an underdog week. Do you think that these 5.5 and 7.5 games are too high? Are you saying in terms of cover or money line? I think the Saints 7.5 is too high. The Packers Browns makes me nervous because I like this Browns defense more than other people. But I would completely understand if someone wanted to lay Packers. I would just use that in the teaser option. And the Falcons one, and the Falcons one makes me a little bit nervous. I don't think I will lay that 5.5 with them. Not that I want to take a side in that game. I thought that was a game I wanted to bet, but then I'm just trying to take a deep breath. What happens if the Panthers aren't down 10-0 in a game? And I have been a little bit disappointed with this Falcons offense. Very disappointed with it. Kyle, I'm glad you hit that 8chan last night. What's up, Busy? Yo, what's up, Kyle? And Kyle, I'm thinking about Eagles under 24.5 team total points. Yo, what's up, Prestige? What's up, Prestige? Yeah, man. Yeah, Prestige, the Tuesday video got a little bit butchered up, but I feel good with what we have. Hope you're doing good, man. Because my hair's going gray, and that's why I don't dye my hair, man. I'm just going gray on the sides, man. So, but yeah, I don't have the hat on due to that. Just the hair's flowing today. Yo, Chris, it's all good, man. Chris, check your WhatsApp, but hopefully you do good, Chris. Rest in peace to your mom. I mean, you've been going through a lot, man. So at least NFL's back. So Kyle, listen. I think this Eagles offense is out of rhythm. I mean, they could always come up and put up fucking 30 points. So, I don't think they're that worried. Like they're sitting there at 2-0. But like I said, like when you get against the Eagles and when you get against the Eagles offense specifically, like you're fucking putting your hand in the proverbial oven. But let's be realistic, man. Like, this whole week is the proverbial oven. These first 4 weeks of the NFL are going to have a fucking ton of variants. So anything you go to cook or any piece of food you want to slang and make that a bat, like, yo, there's a risk you're going to get fucking burnt. Okay. Yeah, like, yeah, Ezra said it best. Like, there's a lot of like things that make your stomach churn this week, like even with the underdogs. And there is one long shot I'm excited about on Patreon. So I'll post that and see what you guys think. Marine Terry, what do you think about the Texans? I really like them against the Jags. Marine, I get the fundamentals. I think the Texans are a better team than the Jags. I just can't touch this game, Marine, because firstly, you have two teams with two poor offensive lines. Now, I think this Jags offensive line's moving the right direction. Cohen's getting them downhill, and it seems like they have way better run-pass balance than the Houston Texans. The Houston Texans offensive line played two pretty good fronts. I mean, the Rams front's excellent, and Tampa's front's not the best, but they blitz, and that's a tough go for any offensive line, let alone a makeshift offensive line like the Texans have. That's the reason why I can't back the Texans here. Like, I have a slight lean to the Jags, but it's more so I don't know what we're going to see, because here's why I think you like the Texans and why I can't bet this game and why I want nothing to do with this game if my money's involved. Here's why I think you want the Texans, Marine. It's because you see this Texans defense, you see how they're good on all three levels, and you see how much they hit the quarterback. And Trevor Lawrence hasn't had to deal with any pressure this year or getting hit. And the man's already thrown 3 interceptions, and he could have already thrown 6 or 7. And that's me being generous. And that's against the fucking Bengals defense. That's the methodology for the Texans. Like, their defense could just win this game because Trevor Lawrence is loose with the ball. Wheezy, I want to go hard on the Tampa Bay Bucks. What's your thoughts? I can't go there. It's just too many injuries on the offensive line. I can't go there. I wanted to. It makes sense. This Jets team looks just out of ideas. They look sloppy. They look poorly coached, specifically on defense. The offensive game plans I'm fine with. The defensive game plans I'm not in love with. And like Sauce Gardner, these first 2 games, for a guy who had a down year last year, he's been absolutely phenomenal. So yeah, man, that's where I'm at, and I'm just worried about this Jets, this Buccaneers offensive line. So they have a lot of injuries, and we saw how much Baker got hit against the Texans, and now that offensive line situation is looking worse. Now we think Tristan Wirf's going to play this week, but I don't know, man. Like, I don't know. Like, they might have 3 starters missing, even if Wirf plays. So I'm nervous about it. That's why I'm just like, I wanted to like throw a little bit of cold water on it when I did the video this morning. Declan Feldman, someone's got to ask it. What's your favorite teaser? Would love to hear a 3-team 6 or 3-team 10-point. Let's do a 3-team 10-point. Give me the Packers. Give me the Ravens. And then give me the Seahawks for a 10-pointer. That's what I would do. If you don't want to wait to Monday night for the Ravens, give me the Rams. So Rams plus 13. I think that's Packers minus 6.5, plus 6.5, and then Ravens. Oh, you're fucking testing my math. Yeah. But anyways, the 10-point 3-team teaser, which is pretty decent odds. Packers, Ravens, Seahawks, all spread. I don't want to touch over under this week. Every single game turned into a shootout in week 2. Like the 1 o'clock window was absolute mayhem. Derek, hey John, which 2 to 3 games would you take off this 7-point teaser? Atlanta plus 1.5. Green Bay, almost a pick 'em. Philly plus 4. Tampa plus 0.5 point. Seattle minus 0.5 point. KC plus 1.5 points. Baltimore 2.5. Leave Baltimore, leave KC. Although the Baltimore one isn't great fundamentals due to it being a high over under, leave Baltimore. I wish we would have got past the key number, but leave Baltimore, leave KC, leave Seattle. I would take Philly off of it, and I would take Atlanta off of it. I would take Philly and Atlanta off of it. But I actually like that one, Derek. And Derek's saying we won a lot of money last year, especially once we got into his own week 6 on. Jeremy Wheel, honest opinion on the Chiefs versus Giants. I feel like the Giants take that, but it feels like a toss-up to me. I mean, if you feel like it's a toss-up in terms of like money line, I mean, you should be betting the Giants plus 6. And if you wanted me to take a side in the spread, I would have to take Giants plus 6. But I felt like I made my stand with the long shot and the Giants last week, and they are going up against a pretty. Listen, I don't think this Chiefs defense is what it was in the past. But there is a part of me that just thinks there's an avenue where the Giants struggle offensively again. And a little bit of Russell Wilson cooking was the game flow. And secondly, the Cowboys defense. So, yeah, man, I can't see the Chiefs losing the game, but that's easy to say. They're minus 6. That's like people going on the upset video saying, Lawson, you're dumb because you think a 7-point underdog might win the game. Like, you guys know, you guys read those comments. Like, but yeah, like I like the way you're vibing, Jeremy. If you think it's a toss-up, like in terms of money line, who's going to win, you're forced in your power rankings to bet the Giants. Don't blink, X. Ravens team total, 33.5. That's really fucking high, don't blink. Lamar under a half interception. Falcons money line. What would you add to this? Okay, you want me to add? All right, give me a Zay Flowers milestone, 50 yards. Or you can go his over 67.5 that I did today on the prop video. I would also, if you want to get Degen, give me a Carson Wentz milestone 275 if you really want to go Degen with it. But if you want to work that same Ravens game, give me Jahmyr Gibbs over the receptions. So I didn't make that the most organized because I didn't know how Degen you wanted to go or which game you wanted to go in. I also really go to player prop video, support the player prop video. I mean, that player prop video takes me almost as long as the Tuesday video, which is just fucking ridiculous. But player props, I'm not crying, obviously. I actually like doing it. It's just like player props are a rabbit hole we can go down, but don't blink. Last one I would consider is Breece Hall under 58.5 rushing yards against Tampa Bay's front. Making you quit. Need opinion on Survivor. I've used Denver and Zona, just like I stated last week. Need to save the good teams just in case it stretches out past week 18 and goes into the playoffs. Yes. I've actually never played Survivor for money. I did something like that last year for someone on executive tier, but it was with spreads. So I understand the strategy of Survivor, but I don't know how many people are in it. Also, I like to go more conservative to start because I mean, yeah, man, you want to be alive like week fucking 18. Like, yeah, but don't count your chickens before they hatch. And secondly, a lot of people flame out early in Survivor. Like all the people who took Bengals week 1 against the Patriots, the Bengals were 8.5-point favorites last year, and the Patriots knocked them off. But if I had to use a periphery team, let me look at it because I actually did see I would use Chiefs or Packers, to be honest. Like people flame out of these things early, man. I mean, people flame out. That's what I would go with, or I would go with the Seahawks. Give me the Hawks. Give me the Hawks. Give me the Hawks. So I follow your directions. Chunky, what's the Jake Ferguson? What's the Jake Ferguson prop? If it's low, it's worth getting. Like, I mean, Bears are banged up in the secondary, really, really bad. Do you trust Kyler though? Like, you can't put a full whole quarters together. I don't fucking trust Kyler Murray at all. Like, I don't think anyone should be lining up to bat that Zona game. Like I don't like. I think there's other stuff on the board, to be completely honest. And I haven't seen the live chat on YouTube because like I said, I have to go a little bit earlier today, so I was trying to like be as organized as humanly possible with the questions. So if you have a question, leave it on Patreon. I'm gonna get in the chat. Okay, Richard Lockhart. I got Cowboys plus 1.5. What's your underdog this week and best 2-team 6-point teaser? My favorite underdog are the Rams. And my favorite 6-point teaser you will see on Patreon, but I will type it to you now. And I wonder what everyone's going to think of this, but it might be me. Yeah, because we're going back to the well. I know a lot of you guys said the books are playing games. The books are messing with people and saying, oh, the 6-point teaser that we used to get for minus 115 is like minus 135, minus 140. I've asked a lot of you guys, and there's a few like DraftKings that moved it that way, but there's also who still have it between like minus 115, minus 120. I think in a grimy, gritty, unpredictable NFL environment that we're in right now, I think like the 2-team 6-point teaser is absolutely gold. So I'm still going to use it, although I don't want people laying minus 150 on it. I mean, I do hate that idea, but that's the books, man, because we cooked them last year with it and we've been using it for years, but there really was a period where I started pushing that more. Ron Borkwin, Lawson, thoughts on your best 3-team 6-point teaser? Okay. Packers, Seahawks, Rams. That's what I would go with. Packers, Seahawks, Rams. I think even if you have a positive outlook for the Eagles and the Eagles offense in that game, like I think both defenses in that game are going to come to play. So when you got a low over under like that, I know the Rams like isn't going to be popular, but fuck me, man. Like I would bring the Rams up. I would bring the Packers down, and I would also bring the Seahawks down. If we're doing a 3-team 6-point teaser. Let me know what you think, Ron. I'm curious. But yeah, I think that's good math. Okay, here we go. Yo, Doc, I mean, you got any I'm same game parlaying this Vikings game, and I think we're gonna hit something big. I think this game, if you want to like attack props and you want to take a game flow angle, that this could turn into a shootout and Carson Wentz can be competent. Man, I think this Bengals defense is worth getting against. I mean, Trevor Lawrence made some really, really poor mistakes, really poor. And still, even with all of that, the Jags, like, were into the 30s and they should have been into the 40s easy. So I mean, that Bengals defense, while they did look more competitive at times, the pass rush wasn't all that strong against a mid at best. I would say below average Jags offensive line. They weren't too active, and Liam Cohen was able to establish that run game again for the Jags. So I think that Bengals defense is seriously vulnerable. I think it's really, really vulnerable. And also Ron, I think Tampa Bay is a teaser option. I'm not saying the Jets are going to beat Tampa Bay. So I think Tampa Bay is a teaser option. It's one of the ones I'm deciding what I'm going to do on Patreon. Mike, I haven't talked to you this year, man, because I've been getting a lot of comments. Mike, I don't know. And I'm not really worried about the run game for the offense. I'm worried about the pass coverage with the Steelers defense. And we know that they're not stopping the run, and they made some really just bad decisions. And I think it comes down to Mike Tomlin. Like, these defensive game plans suck. They're playing heavy man-to-man. Joey Porter Jr. is out, and he's leaving the secondary exposed. And they were hitting Sam Darnold the whole game, but every single time they would just attack the Steelers over the middle. It was man-to-man, and it's too easy. And Mike Tomlin never made an adjustment, and Jalen Ramsey was looking slow, and we saw he's banged up now. We're looking at the other situation. Porter's most likely not going to play. And then Darius Slay just looks like he's dust at this point. So, yeah, Wiz, like, I don't know if I'm being dramatic. I don't. Because I did say, like, after the Jets game, like, I felt like it was like a horrendous game plan. But I just thought, like, week one variance, crazy shit, NFL, let's go, buckle in. Veteran head coach, always been a good defensive mind in this league. He'll make the adjustment. He should notice if, these corners, I know they gave up a lot for Jalen Ramsey, but if he's not up to it in a game, and if he's not up to it, maybe you should go to zone someplace. And it was bad, man. It was bad. So I'm really nervous about the Steelers this weekend. I'm rethinking it. I honestly want nothing to do with that game. But I think we got some better bats. So I'm not crying home about it, but that was one game on Tuesday I felt like was a good opportunity. But the more I go back and the more I think about some of these decisions from Mike Tomlin, I'm fucking troubled. And even with all of that shit, that underperformance on defense, they were still in really good position to just take care of business against the Seahawks. And then Calvin Austin stuck out his hand when Rodgers threw it to Freiermuth in the end zone. And then we had that crazy special teams play. Sometimes you can't control stuff. But one thing Mike Tomlin can control is, well, he should be responsible for that mishap on special teams. That was the fucking craziest thing I've seen in a long time. But also he should be held responsible for that defensive performance. Yeah, Mike, I don't know how you don't know the kickoff rule. Yo, Mike, you want to come on for a quick 15 minutes? Then we'll get Johnny on after. Just give me like two of your best takes. If you want to come on real quick for 15, then I'll get Johnny on for the other 15. If you want to. Yeah, okay, I'll give you 5 minutes. Yeah, but Mike, Mike, we're trying to be on a schedule tonight, but we'll see, man. No, we'll just reconvene next week. So I'm gonna send the invite to Johnny. But yeah, Mike, after Johnny's just come on, like, give us your take on the Panthers Falcons after thinking about it. And then and tell me what you need to say about us Patriots Steelers, if you could. So yeah, Johnny, if you want to enter now. Sounds good. Okay, we'll get Mike on first. I wasn't trying to press you, Mike. Like, you're not an employee for me. You help the channel a lot. Um, so yeah, man, you help the channel an awful lot. Um, okay, here we go. Okay, I'm seeing. Did you? Yeah. Okay, here we go. Let me get Michael, man. Okay, here we go. Yeah, man. Like I just completely. I woke up so early today, and I had to address that Bears Cowboys game. Like I got up so early today, and so yeah, man. I kind of like steamed out. Okay, here we go. Let me send that invite. My bad for the dead space. Okay. Fucking A, man. Gotcha. Okay, let's get Johnny on first. Then Mike, you come on like 10, 15 minutes after. Yo, Johnny, what's up, man?
Yo, what's going on? Good to see you.
No, it's good to see you. Good to have you back on the show. So yeah, man. So let me just lead in. And I got up and did the video where I changed the pick to the Cowboys. And I think even before you sent this, you said you like wanted to come on. I'm not sure the timetable. And I just assumed it was about this game. So have the floor.
Yeah, well, I mean, I just wanted to come on in general. It's been a while. Just talk some ball. But yeah,
Dude, it's always good, man. I'm
yeah,
not
it's
trying to
great.
rush anyone.
But it's on the Cowboys. I mean, I don't know. This is one of those spots where they should roll, right? They should. Well, I don't know why the Bears are getting some love here. I don't know why the line is so short. Maybe it's the outdoor factor, Soldier Field. Maybe it's because Ben Johnson whooped the Cowboys' ass last year. I don't know, but I think this is something that the Cowboys are going to be up for. They got a narrow win that they probably thought they should have won by miles, and then them getting that win in that fashion, I think really sparked them up. The locker room right now is insane. Like the vibes are like immaculate for the Cowboys team. But I've said it. I've been saying it for the past couple years, and I'll say it again here. Every year, the Cowboys will lose to an awful team. Somewhere between week 2 and week 7. A couple years ago, it was the Cardinals. I think the year before that, it was Justin Fields and the Bears. And I mean, granted, those games the Cowboys were favored by like 10 plus points. This is a tighter spread. So it's hard to bet the Cowboys confidently, you know. But I do think that the Jadeveon Clowney signing is good. One of the things he said on the interview right after he got signed was that Eberflus reached out to him right away and said, "Hey, we're not going to be having you drop back in coverage. We're going to have you going forward." And that's something that Carolina was making him do a lot last year.
No, it happened.
Yeah. So he's just based off of his reaction, he was stoked. He's like, "This is what I want to do. I want to be at the field." So I think it's going to help. And I think Kenny Clark has already been helping a little bit. He might be leading the team in tackles, if not like really close already. And he has a sack already too. I mean, you're not going to be able to replace Micah Parsons. But if you want to touch on that front, I mean, I think that was a good trade for the Cowboys.
Let's see if they dude, it's everyone's so week to week. I trust the Cowboys to draft, so I didn't hate it as much as other people, but I trust the Cowboys to draft. Everyone thinks Jerry Jones is like the worst GM in the world. So I think the Cowboys actually draft really well. Like my issues with Jerry Jones are kind of like that rabbit hole you went down last year that everyone kind of started parroting when he had that drama. Like, yeah, you were like a year early, 2 years early, but fuck it. I got to tell you, just give me your reaction. So here's kind of why, like, I'm sure about the Cowboys to win. I'm looking at this Bears secondary, and I'm worried for the Bears. Like, Jalen Johnson's going to miss the game. Kyler Gordon's going to miss the game. So we're looking at like Reek Stevenson. And just to remind everyone who Reek Stevenson is, and I'm not picking on him for this one bonehead play, but you guys remember the Washington Bears game last year? The Hail Mary, Jaden Daniels.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's that guy. So, I mean, dude, we were already saying going into the Eagles game, me and you, we were just saying, like, listen, if you have two really good receivers, it makes a difference. It loosens shit up. And it loosened it up. And last thing I'll say, like, you were a little bit skeptical on the Lions. And, you know, also after watching that Bears film, like, credit to the Lions, credit to everything they did.
Yeah.
But bro, that Bears defense is bad. Like, I know the Giants and the Cowboys are going to steal the headlines from that. That Bears Lions one, it wasn't an outlier.
No, yeah, you're right. But at the same time, the Cowboys DBs are ass-tastic.
Oh,
I mean,
bad.
come
It's
on,
bad.
dude. All right. I think this could be a high-scoring game, and they're gonna make Odunze look phenomenal. They're gonna get DJ Moore back in stride. If they allow 450 plus passing yards from the Giants, I mean, the quick scores. It's like the Cowboys finally take the lead or get within range, and then it's like I'm sitting here like, oh, thank God. And I look back at the screen, and it's another 50-yard bomb. You know, so like
You got the stops in the red zone too early.
Yes,
like
yeah.
they were living in the fucking red zone.
It was just a crazy game. It took years off my life, and I'm glad we got the win. I don't want to see a win like that. But you know what? Everyone knows it though. Everyone here in DFW on the radio saying the same thing. Like, oh, we can't be content. Like, we'll take the win, but we're not content with that win because this is a team you should have beat by a landslide. Now, maybe it isn't. Maybe we find out in week 7 that the Giants are a lot better than we thought, and I think that's going to end up being the case. You know.
I'm not trying to cope for the Russell Wilson show because I did kind of see that coming though, but I don't want to cope for it, but I just think Caleb Williams does things completely different than Russell Wilson. Like, is he going to
his decision making still not there yet? You know.
Well, can he throw deep? Can he throw deep? That is like kind of like the main question. So his deep accuracy is pretty bad from the data guys, and we don't see him throw deep a lot. So I don't know, man. And like the Giants are kind of like a bad matchup for the Cowboys because obviously Cowboys want to throw the ball, although you fucking ran it. So
yeah,
who knows?
I will say Javonte Williams looks great, and this offense that Shoddy's calling is like great. It's almost reminding me of the offense that we ran with Tony Romo, because Tony Romo would sling it, and it would just be yardage after yardage after yardage with whatever running back or receivers we had. And I like this high-powered type offense that they've got going now, and I think it helps a lot.
You want to hear what the data guys are talking about? The data guys are noticing, like, you know, okay, so I guess you got a run game coordinator. He's always been friends with Schottenheimer. You might know. But anyways, he was the like run game coordinator. He's in charge of the Cardinals running game the last like 2 years. So he goes to the Cowboys and Cardinals run game falls off. And then like we see like a Javonte Williams resurgence. Maybe it's just because of Javonte Williams' health. And listen, like, we weren't low on this Cowboys offense line, but we were realistic. I'm just shocked they're able to run the ball. And I'll tell you what, man. The last thing I'll say about the Cowboys game, and I'll let you have your final take on it. I'll tell you what. Don't want to count your chickens before they hatch, obviously, especially like with week 3 with the variants. But could you please inform me how the Bears are going to get a pass rush? Because that JJ McCarthy game was an admiration. Like, no, that is chalked up as outlier. And we got the fake injury in, and come on, man, like it was a fake injury with JJ McCarthy. I'm not hating saying he won't play, but I just think that was a fake injury, firstly. And secondly, I don't think they can rush the passer unless like you buy like the Montez Sweat contract and Grady.
The only reason why they might is Cooper Beebe is out this week, our starting center.
Everyone's out.
Yeah. Now the only thing with that is Cooper Beebe replaced Hoffman last year as a starting center. So Hoffman does have first string reps, but none this year. So I don't know how that's going to go. That's the only way I can see it. Maybe attacking our young O-line like Guyton, and the other kid we have, but I don't know. I don't think they're going to get too much upfield pressure, if I'm being honest.
Certainly wasn't a lot against Detroit, and I still think the Detroit offense line is good, but it's not what it was. Like,
No,
but
definitely not. Yeah.
Final verdict on the game. I mean, because man, I mean, you're always cautious with the Cowboys, and you have to be, because every time I really like the Cowboys, like, it's just it seems.
Yeah, I mean, I want to play this game so bad, but I just feel like every time I do it, I just get slapped in my face.
Just
And
change
I think just the way the Cowboys approach to starting the game, they want to get on the board fast, and I am most likely gonna throw a smaller bet on the first half. And for my DGens out there, who want that quick nut, go for the first quarter.
Yeah, they want it. Okay, let's get Michael on, because let's just shift games. And Mike, let's just talk about this game, because I needed to get this message across. And good evening. I needed to get this message across. This Steelers injury report is fucking troublesome. Let me just read what.
Am I good now?
No, you're good. My bad. You're perfect. Lawson, outside of DK Metcalf, what threat do the Steelers really have? Rookie running back Jaylen Warren is okay. And Calvin Austin was a fucking disaster last week. So I don't know. And I'm more worried about the fucking Steelers secondary, because I saw Jalen Ramsey get cooked. And I just shared something on Instagram that kind of was supporting what I was saying. The game plan was shit week 1 against the Jets. Okay, outlier. Let's let it go. 40, both teams in the 40. Let's just throw that out. But the second one, it was just bad. Man to man, every fucking play. And Smith and Jigba just ran the same route. They did tight splits. Smith and Jigba does an end. Cooper Kupp goes across. Safety gets flushed out with Cooper Kupp, and Smith and Jigba in 2.2 seconds. Yeah, Sam Darnold's on the ground, but it's 2.2 seconds for fucking 20 yards. So I don't know.
What's so disgraceful about that is anyone who watched the Seahawks game versus the 49ers knew that that was the only weapon they had and felt comfortable in.
All the same areas, Mike. They work in the middle. That's all. Smith and Jig was awesome, we were saying before, and I'll let you guys talk. But Smith and Jig was awesome. But if he's on the outside, listen, man, there's levels to this, and then they just let both of them work in the middle, and you're just what the fuck?
I think I said last week on the show that Jackson Smith and Jigba had 80% of Seattle's total receiving yards. And the Steelers watched that game and were like, "No, we don't need to cover him. He's good. We'll just let him go off."
I know.
But
anyway,
the Steelers really disappointed me with that game. I'm not gonna lie; I was actually pissed off at them.
But I'll let you guys have your take. Then get to your bets you want to get in.
No, I don't really have a take on that game. I wasn't really watching that game, nor did I have a bet. I actually was this close to having a bet on the Steelers, and I just decided to stay off. Didn't matter because I got wrecked all around.
Lucky you.
Well, Steelers Patriots. That's what I need to hear your take on, because it's a layoff for me. I can't fucking do it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna most likely be laying off on this one too, but I can kind of see a weird shootout happening. I wouldn't necessarily attack a side. I think we can see this one get over, and most people would think to go to the under with these two teams, but the Steelers defense is old. They're aging. It's they're all legends, and everyone can recognize their name, but they're just at the very back end of their career, and it's just not looking good for them. So I can see this going over, maybe even a first half over, but that's where I would go.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I have Patriots to win and cover, and I feel like it's almost worth betting. For one, the Patriots quietly lead the NFL in sacks, and I think they're near the top of the league in pressures as well. Like, so their pass rush is actually like shown up this year, like on tape, and in the stat sheet. And then on offense, okay, we talked about the Steelers and how terrible their secondary has played. The Patriots don't really have a number one receiver or really any good receivers, but they spread the ball around pretty well to all their little separate different guys. And I think they can utilize that to move the ball downfield against Pittsburgh. The only threat I feel like we have to losing this game is if Drake May just turns it over. And another bet I'm really starting to fall in love with is Vikings -3. And
yeah, I know.
Yeah,
Same thing,
I
Bradley,
just-
with Giants, like
look, I don't trust that Bengals O-line to block 4 dudes, let alone the blitzes that Brian Flores is going to be throwing at him.
I don't want to. I'll let Johnny have this take.
Yeah, I wasn't necessarily looking at that one either, just because the 2 backups. But I mean, I'll take your guys' word for it. Obviously, you know, they're 2 backups, but Carson Wentz, right? Carson Wentz is the one starting for.
Yeah. Well,
I mean,
Oh, yeah.
he's a dog. You know, he used to be a starter, and I mean, how many times have we seen these ex-starters turn backups, getting their chance to start again, and just completely rip up the defense? You know, so I would probably lean that way too. And I don't know if Browning, right, is the other backup.
yeah, Browning's playing, and here's my thing, guys. Like, this Bengals defense is something you want to get against, and I've seen Nick Mullins put up. Hey, remember that run he had? Like, he had that 3-4 game run where he was slinging it. Like, yeah, there were turnovers, and I'm sure they're going to turn it over. I felt like Browning was kind of poor against the Jags, actually. Like, I know that's tough to say. He comes in like off the bench, but he did throw 2 picks. One was terrible. So yeah, man, I should see offense. So
It's so surprising how the Bengals are undefeated right now, 2 weeks in.
Yeah, the
It's
one year they go
insane.
undefeated, they look terrible. Like, they're
Yeah.
not even a good 2-0. But
yeah, Johnny, what do you got?
The only other thing, I already posted it on the Discord. By the way, guys, everyone in the chat, join the Discord. There's a lot of
Johnny,
us
you're
betting
doing
daily, you know, so we post our bets and stuff in there. But I already posted the Rams plus 3.5. I thought this one was going to move down to 3, and I guess it kind of has, because a lot of the
Can I
3.5
inform you? Oh, go on. My bad.
Yeah, a lot of the 3.5s were like plus 100, which means that it's probably a 3 minus 115-ish. I got the 3.5 at minus 115 on Monday, I think it was. When I look at the NFC, you got to look at it as who's going to beat the Eagles, right? And well, who would it be? Right, we got the Packers and we have the Rams. Those are the next. I mean, yeah, the Lions possibly can give them a run for their money, but I think realistically, those are the only 2 NFC teams that the Eagles have to worry about.
I think Tampa as well. Tampa has had their number. Like, I don't think Tampa's
I don't
better,
think
but
this
I think
year, though.
I don't know. The Eagles have struggled against the Bucks. Like, Jalen Hurts has never been able to handle the blitzes that. And by the way, Todd Bowles is a sick and twisted man for what he did to CJ Stroud the other night. Some of those blitzes he threw were like some of the craziest stuff I've ever seen. But anyway, I don't think Jalen Hurts can handle that, because every time he plays Todd Bowles, it is ugly.
Yeah.
A lot of
So-
Eagles games are ugly.
Yeah,
So,
and I don't think the
like,
Eagles are the better team, or I'm sorry, I don't think the Bucks are a better team. I just think the Bucks have their number.
But go on about the Rams.
So yeah, that's kind of how I looked at it. I think the Rams could win outright, but if I'm gonna get a 3.5, I'm gonna take the 3.5 all day.
I'm betting it too, because listen,
So, yeah.
the 3.5 on Pinnacle right now, I'm sure Bet 365 and FanDuel, like, they're getting like scandalous. But I'm gonna go Rams plus 3.5 at minus.
Real quick, who's your top 7 NFC teams?
Oh
Oh,
gosh.
in order.
All right.
Well, I really care about your 3 wild card spots, because your
Oh,
division winners and
gosh.
your 3 wild card spots. So that's your
Yeah.
top 7.
All right. Bucks, Eagles. Oh man. The NFC West is like, you could have all 4 NFC West teams in this conversation, I feel like.
Yeah.
The thing is too, like, I don't know if the 49ers are gonna stay healthy. So
I don't think they are.
yeah. And I think the Cardinals are about the most fraudulent 2-0 team in the league right now. But yeah, that's tough, man.
49ers
Rams.
help insane.
Yeah, I know. Rams are in there. So just going off division winners, I got Bucks, Eagles, Rams, and I'll go Packers in the NFC North right now. Lions are 5. Probably Vikings at 6, tentatively, depending on how bad their quarterback situation is. And then 7, I guess I'll go Falcons right now. Like, I feel like the Falcons, they look, I mean, we said this last year, but they look good right now. Like, their defense doesn't look terrible for once.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's interesting.
yours?
I don't,
Who's
who,
here?
who, I don't, so I'm thinking Eagles, obviously, for the NFC East, although, there hasn't been a repeat winner in the NFC East in 20 years. And I asked ChatGPT, have the Eagles ever won a division title after attending a Super Bowl? And the answer was no. So if we just go off of these like recent history stuff, it's like, who's it going to be? Is it going to be the Commanders? Jaden Daniels, how long is he going to be out? Maybe it could be the Commanders. Is it going to be the Giants? Maybe so now. Is it going to be the Cowboys if they have this resurgence? So that one's tough, but we'll go with the Eagles. I do think the Packers will take the North. And I think the Bucks will end up taking the South. And who am I missing? Oh, so my long shot stab at the West is I actually took a plus 800 ticket on the Cardinals to win the West.
No, the Cardinals stink.
I don't blame you.
I mean,
Cardinals stink.
For the value that was there with a beat up Niners team, and I guess at the time a questionable Seahawks team, and then just the Rams. For me, the reason I made that bet, it was because I don't think that Matt Stafford makes it a full season, and I mean I hope he does. I don't want to wish anyone to get hurt, but man, if one other back injury or tweak, kind of like Tony Romo, he would be fine, they'd be doing good, and then someone landed on his back, Ron, he goes out the rest of the season.
I will say, for a guy who didn't have a training camp, Matt Stafford has looked phenomenal so far. Like, I don't know what sort of steroids he's on, or if this is like riding a bike where you just never forget how to throw a football, but Matt Stafford's looked exceptional these first 2 weeks.
That's why I like to bet for this moment. And then
I know, I'm with you. I am 100% with you.
But also, like, for me, Johnny, I have no fucking idea my favorite 7 teams now.
It's tough.
Now. It's fucking tough. And I'll just say something while you're thinking. I actually do kind of think the Falcons win the NFC South, but it's just because there's so many injuries with the Bucks now. Like I'm blinded, so I have to think about that. Like, this injury report is fucking disgusting this week. I've already bitched about it a few times, but guys, like, this is like week 14. Like, I spent this is like week fucking 15. And it's week 3. So, like, I'm not even talking about the quarterbacks. Like, I'm talking about, like, clunk injuries, 2 offensive linemen on right side out, two defensive backs out for the Bears. Like, there's shit going on. Yeah. And but also what I want to say about the Rams, like, let's say Stafford plays like shit and he's out of rhythm like he was a lot last year when we bet him. Most of those bets we won because the defense is underrated. And I'm seeing
like the Jets.
Yeah.
Case in point, Jets.
Okay, and here's what I'm seeing, and I'll let you guys like throw out any other bets you have. Like, here's what I'm seeing. I'm seeing the Eagles try to get it out of Hurts' hands extra quick, and they don't want to take any sacks. And we've already saw this offense they go through lulls where they don't have rhythm. That's what Johnny, you were trying to explain to people. I tried my best. I didn't do it well, but you were trying your best to just explain, like, yo, like, this Eagles team sometimes just doesn't have it offensively. And then Hurts gets a new offensive coordinator. And I get it. Like, Saquon Barkley can go off for 150 yards. Like, oh, bet over, like, fuck. Like, like, I guess the Rams defense line doesn't matter because he's that good. But fuck me, man. Like, this Eagles passing game has been shit, and they are shit a lot of weeks. Like, and I love Jalen Hurts.
They're just not pushing the ball down the field at all right now. Like, they're not even, I mean, what Tua did last night where he was throwing behind the line of scrimmage pretty much every play, the Eagles are like just a step above that. Like, the Eagles, I don't think they've completed a pass over the middle of the field. Like, I'm saying in that like 10 to 15 yard range the entire year. Like, it's really bad what they've been doing these first 2 weeks.
They aren't even using AJ Brown. He's having
No,
like
yeah.
a very down year, honestly. And
Remember
Saquon Barkley
we even saw
hasn't
that
even
with-
had that big rushing game either. They
This
like
is
the
this
Cowboys
is
contained it
different.
pretty well.
I feel like this is different than what we saw last year, though.
Oh yeah.
Like last year, they were
Yeah.
still getting plays down the field, and they had some sort of like symmetry on offense.
No, I agree. But yeah, man, like any other bats, because I like the Rams one. It's just for me, it's just like, what do I want to do? Like Rams, Eagles under 24.5 team total. I mean, the Eagles under 24.5 team total. That's -1 time last time I saw. Or it's just go Rams plus 3.5 at -115. Like, which
I've
is
got some good.
So-
I've got some good alt lines if you want to hear it.
Yeah,
Let's
go
hear
on
it.
some.
All right. So Texans -6 against the Jaguars. I think this Jags team has something rotten going on inside of it, whether it's Brian Thomas not wanting to catch a pass over the middle, whether it's Trevor Lawrence throwing some of the worst picks you will ever see, whether it's, him shoving off Liam Cohen, like something just feels off about this Jags team. And I think the Texans back against the wall are not going to lose to the Jaguars. I just can't see it.
They're in a must-win game in week 3.
Yeah, exactly. Especially with how well the Colts have started. I just feel like the Texans have to do something here. I know their offensive line is bad. I know the concerns about CJ Stroud, but I trust them to get it together this week. And they have to. They consider themselves a championship caliber roster. They've played 2 good teams week 1. I think they're going to take out their losses on the Jags this week. Another alternate line that I am super unexcited about. If you want to bet the Falcons like -13.5, I don't think it's the worst idea in the world. I know Bryce Young killed our spread last week, and as much as that hurt, I don't think that's going to happen again this week if the Falcons get up big. The big thing with the Falcons,
shit in the red zone, Mike. I got like they're really
well, at least
bad.
they can get to the red zone. Or at least they can get to the red zone.
I think you'll be
We get-
surprised by your Panthers this week, buddy. That's all I'm gonna say.
I
It's
think
funny-
you will be too.
It's funny you mentioned the red zone, Lawson. We're doing this thing right now where we like to get to the other team's 40-yard line, and then we decide we don't want to get points anymore. Like, we can't do that. We'll get to the other team's 40, and then like take a penalty or throw a pick or fumble. It's happened like 6-7 times this year. I'm not kidding. Through 2 weeks, it's happened like 6-7 times. It's to the point where like people are tweeting when the Panthers get to the 40 because they know something terrible is going to happen. But the reason I feel like the Falcons can cover like a big spread is because the Falcons are a team as much as we joke about 20-3, you really do not want to get you don't want to get behind against the Falcons because they have a super good running game, and for the first time in forever, they actually have a good pass rush. So, especially knowing how the Panthers start these games, at least this year, I don't think we've scored a touchdown in the first half of either game this year. Actually, I don't think we've scored in either second quarter of both games this year. We've been down both games, I think 20-3 at halftime. And it's been a complete mess in the first half. And like I said last week, I think it's going to take them more than 2 weeks to get their shit together.
You know what the difference is, though? The difference is they got steam late in that game. And although they still lost, that was such a huge confidence booster, not only for Bryce Young, but for that whole organization. And I think they're going to come out with some like
that I agree with.
intensity.
I think the best thing they got out of that Cardinals game was just the reps. They ran 85 offensive plays, which is the most the Panthers have run in any game in about 5 to 6 years. So they definitely needed every damn one of them. But I'll be honest, I'm not buying that. The second the Cardinals relocked in and like decide they actually need to make a stop, they stopped the Panthers offense like that. Like it was clear they were just playing too conservative for the entirety of the third and fourth quarter. But once they actually needed to go, they got to stop like it was nothing.
But let me ask Mike a question. Aren't you a little bit worried? Okay. Aren't you a little bit worried about the JJ McCarthy effect? And I'm not trying to pick on him or dunk on anyone, but he did look pretty much the same, like both games that he played.
Yeah.
And, like the Falcons, like defense, like, I mean, you guys should be able to protect a lot better than the previous 2 games.
Well, that's the thing. We can protect well. We just can't pick up a blitz. And the Falcons blitz the hell out of JJ McCarthy.
No, I know these, but Mike. I just think the Falcons' offense, like it's really bad situationally.
We'll see.
Like I don't like Zach Robinson. Like I said, man, you did say the run fits look better this year, and I know like Etienne had that big run, but the run fits like actually look better. And, the Falcons are going to give you an opportunity on 1st and 10. Like, Bijan Robinson is going to be 12 yards back there in the pistol, and it's turning into an Adrian Peterson situation.
The Falcons
you're
will
right.
be good as soon as they can get Drake London active. They need to get him the ball at least 2 to 3
Agreed.
times or more a series, depending on how long the series is.
And let me be
I would
clear,
agree with everything you said. If they can get Drake London the ball, I think he's averaging like 50 yards or less, maybe 5 catches a game right now. That's bad. That's your star receiver. That's your number one guy.
Yeah.
And Kyle Pitts.
Yeah.
Let me be clear too. Like, I'm just advocating for why the 13.5 is like is like a decent idea. Like, I would not, smug my nose at that if you wanted to go bet that. I definitely think the Panthers like can compete in this game. Especially like Lawson and I have talked about this several times over the last like 5 or 6 years. Falcons Panthers is one of the weirdest rivalries in the NFL because normally, at least I'd say 40% of the time, the team that is better and that should win finds a way to choke. Whether that's the 14-0 Panthers going on the road to Atlanta and losing, whether that's the Falcons coming in week 18 of last year, all they need to do is win the game and they can get the NFC South and they choke to the Panthers. Like, it's been a back and forth thing for the entirety of the last 15 years. So like I said, I don't think it's impossible the Panthers can pull this off based off history, which I know Lawson hates that, but it's the truth.
No,
it always happens.
Like there's fucking variance.
I know, but we've said that. We've said that so many times, and look what keeps happening.
Well, but how the fuck am I going to forget like when it was like a 30 over under like 37.5 and like they both put up 40 points. Like that's
exactly.
Any other bets? But I think that, Johnny, so you think the Panthers cover?
I think so, and I'm actually pretty close to pulling the trigger. And I tracked this line earlier this week, and it's actually moved against me. Which, if you guys haven't noticed, over the last year or so, I've been actually going with the line movement instead of against it. I haven't made any bets yet, but this one was at 3.5 on Monday or Tuesday.
Yeah,
it's
I
now
got 3.5. That was nice.
It's 5.5 now.
Yeah, I got a Falcons minus 3.5.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's right. You're on the Falcons. So I'm thinking about taking that one. A sneaky play, I think, is the Browns and or the under in that game. I think that game can go under.
I think first half and full game. Too. The more I think about it, but I don't want to be the guy to lay that. So but I get you. Yeah, what's the spread you like?
Like the straight up spread, like I'll be honest, there's not really one I feel super confident in this week. I'm just being a degenerate and writing the alternate lines.
So yeah, I don't blame you, but I also do like an all. Like I think like I think one all I do like is like getting against the Eagles and just saying like they don't really like.
Well, I was gonna say I went Rams -2 for that game.
Yeah, no,
like, I think that game could be a game-winning field goal for the Rams, like easily. And aren't the Eagles due for a loss? Like, haven't they played? They should not be 2-0.
But yeah, like I agree with what you guys are saying about like the Texans are due, like the due for the loss stuff. Yeah, I don't know. But Mike, who do you think is going to win, Cowboys Bears? Because we were talking about it before you came out.
Yeah, I'm with the Cowboys, but like I'm not in agreement that you should bet that. I mean, I just can't forgive the Cowboys defense for giving up 450 yards to Russell Wilson in the big 2025.
Get used to it, buddy. It's going to be here all year.
Hey, we play y'all in a few weeks, and I am looking forward to it. You want to know how we're going to fix our problems? It's going to be by playing the Cowboys. That's how we're going to get better.
Johnny, can I ask you a question? Sorry to cut you off, Mike.
Go ahead.
Was I exaggerating with the Tecmo Ball? Because honestly, I wanted to say Arena Football League when I watched like the Russell Wilson slanging it deep all day on the Cowboys defense. But then I'm like, no, Arena Football, like that shit's kind of like tight and condensed. I swear to God, I've never seen as much space on an NFL field. It was shocking, the space. Maybe it's because the offseason's so long, but I just never seen so much space.
Yeah.
No, it's bad, dude. Our DBs, they can't. So they're not good enough to run man. So if we run zone, but they don't have that leadership and communication that Jordan Lewis provided. And where is he
Here's
at? He's at the Jags. So there's no communication. They don't even know how to run the zone coverage that they're supposed to be running. There's no one telling them where they got to be. So it's just all jacked up. And a fun fact, they didn't want to pay Jordan Lewis 20 mil or whatever it was. That's how much Brandon Aubrey's getting paid.
and he's worth it. I would take Brandon Aubrey right now. Like, we only get to the 40 anyways. I would take him in a heartbeat. But no, you want to know something? And maybe this is why you're right, and this is why you bet the Cowboys. Lawson will remember week 1 against the Vikings. Caleb Williams started like 10 for 10, but he had dudes open down the field the entire first quarter, and he just was not pulling the trigger. That same thing could happen against Dallas.
Doesn't, and that's like, I wasn't
Like
trying
wide
to,
open
like,
dudes. It's not like he's making tight window throws. These are guys who are wide open in space, where if you're playing Madden, you press that A button to throw the ball. Caleb Williams was not doing that.
No, I know, and like, I wasn't trying to like dunk on Johnny, like, because he's just had to fucking sit through 3 hours and 50 minutes of Wan'Dale Robinson looking like Jerry Rice, and so it's tough. It's just, I think the data guys say like Caleb Williams has terrible deep accuracy, and I can't chime in because I rarely see him get deep. And about DJ Moore, like I said, once again, not even trying to dunk on Johnny, because DJ Moore's still good. It's just, I don't know. Like,
I was really high on him this year. I was expecting him to have a really, really good year, to the point
there
where I
ever
drafted him
been-
in all of my fantasy leagues. I have him, and they haven't been getting him the ball. And Ben Johnson should be the guy to get creative with a guy like DJ Moore.
Well, he's been
Yeah.
using Roma Dunze more, but like, has there ever been a receiver like to have such bad quarterback luck than
He's
DJ
had
Moore?
some bad luck.
He's had some really bad ones.
No, but last thing, but yeah, I'll let you guys have the last word. But like, yeah, Johnny, because DJ Moore's still getting separation. I haven't looked at the like data this year, but last year he was up there in terms of like separation created, stats like that. And remember the play against Arizona where Caleb Williams just running around doing nothing. You know how most quarterbacks, like, they'll roll to the right to, like, for purpose to push it. I mean, he just rolls to the right, and it's not to push it, and I don't understand why. But you remember that play where Caleb Williams scrambled like 14 seconds, and then like 8 seconds in, DJ Morris just walked off the field.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Which is
yeah.
weird too, because DJ Moore has always been like, at least with Carolina, he was always like a very high effort player.
He is.
Yeah.
Dude. I don't know if
Like-
it was last year or the year before. I think it was the year before. His touchdown prop was always plus 200 or worse, and he got one like damn near every single
Yeah.
game. And that was when I made a killing off of the touchdown props that year.
Because probably the data guys are saying, like, listen, like, it doesn't really matter how much separation he makes or how good he is. Like, someone has to throw the ball. And,
Mhm.
you know, like, and I'll let you guys have your last word because I already said it. But I do wonder, man, like, I do think that Tyson Bagent shit last year, remember week 8, week 9, the anonymous sources, like, so grain of salt, of course. But remember when they said, like, the veterans wanted Tyson Bagent? Like, let's see. Caleb Williams could prove me wrong, and we'll see him. We'll see him throw for 500.
I just don't understand why this game is a 1-point spread, man. And right now, as it stands, this is what I've been looking at. There's 63% of the bets on the Bears. There's more quote unquote sharp money on the Cowboys, which you would think it would be the other way around. The Cowboys would be the public team, but they're not. It's the Bears, and I don't get it. I really don't.
I don't fucking get it. I don't. I don't. Mike, do you get that? Yeah, I think Mike's camera's off. So, but anyway, Johnny, Mike, thank you for coming on. Yeah, but man, no, Johnny, let's like talk about that for a second. Because that is the oddest thing I've heard, especially because, like, let's just think of public, okay?
Mhm.
they hate Caleb Williams too. I know they hate the Cowboys, but you would think like they just put up 400 fucking yards. I mean, Dak damn near threw for 400 yards. Maybe he did. I'm forgetting, but you would think that would be public.
Yeah, I mean, and it might just be the site that I'm using too. I'm sure I only use Action Network. I'm sure there's other sites that have different numbers and whatnot, but I don't get it. But just by the way I've been gambling or I guess betting on these games and betting multiple sports, this is like a smash spot for me when I see more bets on one side and more money on the other side. It's just I'm probably gonna have to play it. Um, Depending on how this college football game goes on tonight, I might have to throw a few hundred, probably like $500 on the Cowboys, maybe.
Not trying to talk you into it, but the Tyreek Stevenson analysis from me, like it hit me fucking early this morning, and I had to get on to talk about it. And rarely I see like injuries do that to me because like, you know, I bet the injury report last year, Atlanta, Seattle, and you know, Seattle went into Atlanta and won 37-13, and with no one in the secondary whatsoever. So
Yeah. Crap like that is why I can't bet the Falcons to win the South this year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Any
But
last
no,
Are you
word?
saying it's a college fund game?
No, I am kind of with you. Like I am starting to like the Cowboys more just because of that point I made about Caleb Williams not chucking the ball downfield.
It'll be interesting.
I think I've seen something different. I saw the data last year, and even the data this year. Like I said, I don't like the data guys, but I just don't see him throw the ball down the field. So I don't know if his accuracy is good or bad down there because I watch the games.
I will say, I mean, don't be surprised though if this Bears defense makes a stand. I feel like we don't know what they are yet.
Yeah, I don't.
I know you don't like them.
No, I just think you have to hit Dak, and I did say something that I felt like was relevant. When I did the divisions, I said listen, maybe Bears, maybe they could. I just said the only thing I would in before people in is I just think this defense is really mid. So I know I love Grady Jarrett, man. Grady Jarrett, so I had some great days watching him at 1:00. But Grady Jarrett is the solution. And then Montez Sweat, great, you overpay for him, but I would rather pay for Brian Burns at this point if I want an inconsistent player. So anyways, guys, thank you for coming on, man.
No,
it was fun. Was gonna be longer, but good talk, y'all.
Sounds good. I'll get you guys out
next week.
Yo, Johnny, thanks for coming on. And the Jerry Jones theory. I mean, real quick before you go, what was your reaction to the media taking something you were saying 2-3 years ago?
Wait, what's the theory?
No, remember his theory. I believe it was last year, but he's hinted this before. All right, just say the theory. Say the theory in 5 minutes.
It's that Jerry doesn't really care about winning. And I'm glad he brought this up because I talked to my coworker. I talk to him every single day when I go to work. He goes to the Tom Landry room every single game that he goes to. So he sees the players come in after the game and they go eat their food and stuff like that. He heard, and I'm not going to drop this name because he was very hesitant to drop it, but he heard a player. He overheard them talking. He's like, man, just Jerry doesn't want to win. I know it. You can just tell. I can tell. And I don't know if that means Jerry's telling them to make this game look close or if the way he talks to them just doesn't seem like he's that interested. But this is legit intel from the Tom Landry room after the game from specific players. And that's basically what the theory was, is that he doesn't want to replace that 90s team. He's more concerned about the business side and just overruling the media. Last year he announced Jimmy Johnson on I think their bye week or just before the game or something. Just random things like that. It's all he cares about is just the business side of things. And
I was gonna say
true.
As an outsider, I think Jerry just loves to be the center of attention in any conversation he's involved in. I don't know if I would go as far and granted your source is probably right, but I wouldn't go as far as saying he doesn't want to win. I just think more than anything, he wants to be talked about. He wants to be the kid everyone knows at school.
he doesn't want to go to the Super Bowl and win the Super Bowl. He wants to be relevant enough where everyone is talking about the Cowboys, like this could be the year, or they're in line for the NFC East title. Will this be the year they make it past the first round? And then it's just enough to keep us relevant. And that's what it is. That's what his plan is.
So he's
Allegedly.
Thanksgiving tickets. You want to care how much you paid for those?
Oh,
You
God
asked
bless
me?
you.
Yeah.
God bless you.
Yeah, it's probably the most I've ever paid for any NFL ticket. But the reason I did it is because I have a good
Yikes.
buddy that I used to work with in California. He's a diehard Chiefs fan. So he's coming to visit me. But they were $460 a pop for nosebleeds.
Sheesh,
Mike,
man. That
no, but Mike, like when I saw like the Chiefs are playing the Cowboys and he told me he's going to a game, I was like, bro, like that's like
Yeah.
fucking playoff type game on Thanksgiving. On Thanksgiving, I'll just say it was a good decision. Like, obviously, it's not my money, but
yikes,
secondly,
bro,
like,
that's
man, like I know everyone likes to dunk on the Cowboys, but honestly, Cowboy Stadium, Thanksgiving Day, Jerry.
I don't know if you guys have been to AT&T Stadium, but that is one thing Jerry does well is he goes all out for his brand, and the
Yeah.
production, the setup, the quality, everything is just amazing. So I can only imagine what it's going to be like on Thanksgiving Day. And
well, as
not to
someone who
mention,
just
with how this season started, that game looks a lot more winnable now.
yeah, well, as someone who just sat through a Jacksonville Jaguars stadium, that AT&T Stadium does look very nice, and I would have much rather sat through a Cowboys game than sit through a Jaguars game.
It's
So
nice, man. It's badass. It's badass.
yeah, their halftime shows are good too, from what I've heard. Like they
The
always
cheerleaders are
hit with
great.
those.
Everything's great.
Well, I was gonna say that, but yeah,
All right, I'll let you guys get off. I'm going to just answer some YouTube questions and see if I
All right,
missed
guys,
it.
take it easy.
All right, have a
luck.
good night,
Make sure
boss.
you guys
Talk to you
like and
soon.
subscribe. Join the Discord.
Yo, see ya, Mike. Thank you for coming on.
see you, boss.
Okay, Al, I actually really like this Browns defense. So I don't think it's going to be a blowout. And I don't have like a strong lean whether the Browns cover or not, but I don't think the Packers are going to blow them out. So, yo, Wiz, have a great night. Raiders, I mean, you guys got a chance, man. And I would start Mike Evans in that situation. Hit the like button. I'll have the Patreon bets up soon. Next week, I believe, will be 2 hours like normal. So, but yeah, Johnny and Mike, always great to talk to them. Have a good night, guys.